So their instinct is to... So, all right, context. I said I was going to explain it again because I have to. Now there's 700 people here as opposed to... I need seltzer. Where's my fucking... Hold on, I'm getting seltzer. All right. Context time. So YouTube, for whatever reason, this is a young guy. He's like 14, okay? Recommended me his video because it's about in television. Out of nowhere, he has like 100+ subscribers. Bizarre recommendation from YouTube, but all right, it's about in television. This actually wasn't the first video I saw, though. I saw this video that came up. I'm like, why is Tommy Tallarico sitting down with like a fucking 13, 14-year-old kid? And then I thought to myself, I'm like, I know Tommy. He probably searched for himself every day on the internet and wanted to try to squash any kind of dissent to white. So he literally... This just shows Tommy's narcissism. He was probably sitting there searching for his name every single day. And anytime someone said anything about him, he would go talk to him. How pathetic is this that the CEO of a company is sitting down with a 14-year-old kid? And no shade to this kid. Don't get what I'm saying twisted. He's a 14-year-old kid who has a YouTube channel. I am
thoroughly tickled.
And you had to sit here and make sure you damage controlled it? Watch. It's sad. It just shows how fucking nuts he is. Bro, I would like to see the inside of the fake. Even putting it down sounds hollow as hell. Yeah, I'll probably crack all the shit open after I'm done and film it. I'll just break it. I don't care. Anyway, so let's have some fun.
I am thoroughly tickled.
Twitchaholic, thank you for being a member for 9 months. I appreciate it.
Welcome back to Lucas. So let's talk. This is an unscripted video. So I was looking on GameStop's website trying to buy some games, trying to find 3DOs. And I looked.
Trying to look at GameStop for a 3D, I wouldn't do that.
And there's this new product coming.
It literally popped up in my feed, the initial interview with Tommy. Right here. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who is he? Why is he talking to some kid? And then I thought to myself, what would be his MO for doing this? Because the kid didn't say, he said negative things.
Coming out from Mattel called the Intellivision Amico. I looked at.
Well, his take here isn't bad. Kind of made sense. Why do you think Tommy jumped on the damage control train?
And it looks kind of like an iPod. I'm very confused. So I want to take you.
It does look like, it looks like a Zune.
On the Intellivision Amico ride, if you will. I'm just going to look at a whole bunch of stuff detailing the product. Maybe when it launches, I'll get one.
Dude, it just shows how narcissistic and obsessive Tommy is, that he was anything, even like a young kid with 100, like he waded through everything. He probably had some like automated thing that would, because you could do like, it has automated searches where if anyone's talking about Tommy Tallarico or the Amico, you could do Google automated searches. So anytime he saw anything, he had to jump all over it because Tommy's nuts. He's mentally ill. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the epitome of mental stability. I assure you that I'm not. But I'm also not a fucking narcissist looking up my name any day and going to talk to a 14-year-old on their channel to try to damage control and make my product look good. When I was 9, my cat was extremely sick. My parents put him to sleep and never told me. You can imagine. Oh, of course. You know, that was kind of the right choice. It's a tough choice when a kid's that young. Tommy is on Chris Hansen's radar. Well, I wouldn't go that. He's just a fucking weirdo, dude.
Okay, let's go. So we open on Mr. Tommy Tallarico, aka #1 Spider-Man fan in the world, and he's the CEO of a television, which is weird. And he's showing off this new product, Amico. And this next part is just Tommy Tallarico saying, oh yeah, I worked on all these games and stuff.
He's right. What does this have to... Okay, Tommy. The kid is right. What I remember, like, why, Tommy? Who cares about your ad? Like, could you imagine, like, if Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, just talk about all her accolades first before she got into like a new product feature for YouTube? Who fucking cares?
It's just bragging, basically.
So when I got
He's right. He's fucking right. He's 100% right.
in the industry, come to find out that Intellivision still existed.
In this part, he's just banking off the surprise that, whoa, Intellivision is a company and it still exists. Whoa.
He might have watched. Dude, if he mentioned something about going for a ride in his Ferrari, I will call Chris Hansen myself. Be like, yo.
Whoa. Which is a little bit funny, but, I mean, don't blame him.
Because I have a vision that's going to completely disrupt the video game industry.
Oh, it did. It disrupted it because everyone laughed at you. Everyone paused and simultaneously pointed at you and went, ha ha.
They're literally gaming racists.
Oh, I muted it by accident. Shit.
Nanos to Intellivision, basically. That's the idea, which is kind of crazy.
What did he fucking...
Intellivision was launched in
He said
1970.
Yeah. Nanos to Intellivision.
Yeah, it's amazing that a 14-year-old has more common sense than Tom. No, it's not amazing. It's not. It's Tommy's like 10. Turbo Express and I are making OnlyFans for D's. Are you serious?
Basically, that's the idea, which is kind of crazy.
What was the idea?
A vision that's going to completely disrupt the video game industry.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel bad for Victor Lucas because he's such a nice guy and he won't call Tommy a piece of shit because I know he's friends with him, like friends. I'll call Tommy a piece. Tommy, you're a piece of shit. Like having people like Retro Bro be like, hey, Rich is saying things about the Amico I don't like. Could you go talk to him? Like, he had literally admitted this, John, in an interview on my Twitch channel. Oh, by the way, not going to name a name. It's confirmed. Next Tuesday, I got an interview
thoroughly
coming
tickled.
that will end all other interviews. If you don't believe me, ask my editor. I'm not playing. It ain't like some random person. It's not Phil. It's not Phil. It's not the quartering. That would be a fun time. But no, he's coming in 20 minutes. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. It's confirmed. So follow me. I'm not making this up to try to just get cheap follows on Twitch. You guys don't know. You guys know I don't play shit like that. And the reason why I don't want to say, because I don't want anyone bothering him. It's kind of why other places don't do it too, because they don't want anyone bothering the host. It's a big fucking deal, though. Is it Quantum? No. Rich, you're playing. It's Elon. No, it's not Elon either. Come on. No, it's not Tips. Tipster I would do a co-host stream within a second. So, you know I don't play. You know I'm not trying to clickbait you into following me on Twitch. I want you to, but I wouldn't allure you. Hey, guys, come watch this interview. It's a random person named Fred. Hi, Fred. You know, so I'm not playing. It's going to be insane. It's someone who's infamous. No, it's not Phil. Just buckle up. Follow me on Twitch. I'm not clickbaiting. Guys, it's Ralph. The time has come. No, fuck no. Ralph would still try to butt fuck me, dude. Anyway. Speculate all you want to, I can't say.
He's gonna sell these twin iPod Nanos to
I like this kid. This kid has class and intelligence. I haven't played it yet, dude. it's been a week from hell for me. Hey, Rich, did you delete one of your streams where you were watching the Chris Chan and looked and swear there's a part missing? I don't think so. And I know the people behind it wouldn't take. Is it Deaf Noodles or Snow? I can't tell you who it is either. It's not them, though. I promise. I'm not just saying that just to say no.
In television, basically. That's the idea, which is kind of crazy.
Like, no one cares about Deaf Noodles anymore anyway. It's over.
Intellivision was launched in 1979 and became a household name.
Yes.
I have a bone to pick with this first 16-bit console. You know, the first 16-bit console was the PC Engine, which really...
I am
Tommy,
thoroughly tickled.
Constructive criticism. Tommy, I believe, is correct about that. And actually, fun fact, the TurboGrafx 16 was not 16-bit. It had a 16-bit picture processing unit. But the processor in there was a 8-bit processor. Don't remember this. I actually knew it in my Turbo Express video. And it actually was a descendant of the 6502 that was in the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was beefed up. I don't know how of course I researched all of it for the fucking Turbo Express video.
This proves the argument, because the Intellivision is barely even 8-bit.
However, even though it was technically a 16-bit processor, its clock speed wasn't even it was measured in kilohertz, not even megahertz. Fun fact.
So there are about 200 million hardcore gamers out there.
Okay, so adding up all the consoles that are relevant today, you have 12 million of the Wii U, the 100 million of the PS4, and the 50 million of the Xbox One. Counting the Wii U as casual, that would make it 150 million. Say there's
The Wii U wasn't casual?
25 million PC gamers out there. Then that makes it 175 million, which kind of just proves the argument.
I'm too stoned for numbers, but
P.S. That's a...
the whole concept that Intellivision had with that was stupid because... First off, the whole motion control thing and what the market they were going for moved on. Okay? Secondly, there's billions of gamers out there. And but those billions of gamers are playing just like Pat and Ian said.
Hand jobs all around.
They're right. They're playing fucking free-to-play mobile gacha games. They're not going to sit down in front of a console. Tommy, have you moved on from 2006, or do you still think are you showing up to the set of Electric Playground still? Christ, the story of Toy 2. This is whenever I take my THC infused suckers, I put on this music with the birds. It makes me hard.
Try to relax your anus.
Yeah, it does. Well, they poured it over virtually every game. From the Wii U to the Switch.
The stock photo, by the way.
Yo, this kid is on point. Yo, this kid is going to be like the next MKBHD or something, man. He's smart for his age. He's catching a lot of shit. He's got a good eye.
So we see this huge gaping hole in the video game industry, which is people aren't...
Tommy Tallarico. No, an interview with Tommy, trust me, I know, is Tommy just talking about himself for 7 fucking hours. Oh, if I could go back in time and do those interviews, man, I would have been, metaphorically, doing jabs and, ooh, he wouldn't have handled it well. Are you getting Toy 2 on Switch? Yes. The Legacy of Toy. Toy 3, co-starring Toy 4.
They're literally gaming racists.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
So we see this huge gaping hole, yes.
Playing video games together.
I play video games with everybody, from friends to family. We
Yes. Flashback, I can.
sit down, play on the N64, play GoldenEye. Like, man, it happens. It's not like a distant thing of the past that people play video.
Yeah, Tommy, and this kid's 14. You could take all that fake fucking market research you did and shove it up your ass. The reason why... Oh, but now everyone just stays at home and play... Because they want to. Because they're antisocial fucks like me. They don't... Hey, you know, I've had a long day. Let me just sit down and get all the family together after doing shit for 10 hours. And when my kids are here, they couldn't sleep. Yeah, let's just play cornhole. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's a very good point. Maybe he just heard the talking points from somewhere else, but... Or maybe he just has common sense. It's not Colin Moriarty. What word would you describe a person who spits bullshit, takes fat L's for their BS, and desperately goes into people's profiles to find anything to make redeeming clapbacks? The quartering. I should have Ben-Hur, Ben-His Stiller. I love that. Ben-Hur, Ben Stiller, Ben Still, together forever now.
Ben-Hur, Ben Stiller.
Video games together. Just get your facts straight.
What has video gaming been?
However, even if the kid is regurgitating other talking points from people, he understands those talking points make sense. He could have went the White Knight route with it, especially usually you would have more naivete at this point. The fact that he's being skeptical and even regurgitating the skeptical viewpoints means the kid has some common sense. Credit where credit's due. Toy 2.0, The Legacy of Toy 3, featuring Toy 4, co-starring Toy fucking 5. At least the kid was on the right side of history with this. Unlike some other people that were out there who admitted they were trying to suck Tommy's cock to get a career on YouTube. Oh, that's so pathetic, man.
It's solitary, it's expensive, it's complicated.
So
a Switch is expensive. Series S is expensive. His arguments were so fucking dumb even back then.
basically the Intellivision Amico?
So our 4 pillars of Intellivision are simple, affordable, family, and entertainment.
Keep in mind, 3 years later, the price of the thing, they were going to try to sell it for more than a fucking... they were selling it for like PS5 digital edition. Because the controllers were over-engineered, and then they have an underpowered mid-range 2015 processor in there. Because you know what Tommy did? This is where they're right, Pat and Ian. Tommy, just because he thinks like he could just say something and make it happen because he's a narcissist and insane. He's like, oh yeah, it's only going to be 140 to 180 bucks. The games are going to be $10. How are the developers? Even if this console had a small following, it would be niche, Tommy. How are those developers going to make a living on there? And why the fuck would they have sold their games on your niche console when they could just sell them on a Switch? They could sell them on the Series consoles or the PlayStation 5 or PC. Christ, man. This guy probably thinks he pisses wine.
And that spells out the word safe. Because...
That's giving me some heavy Oaxis Entertainment vibes right there, Tommy.
People...
I don't know what the Oaxis is. It probably was a scam console.
Can trust us. And we also want to create amazing value as well. Those are our 2 most important things. Trust and value with our consumer.
Oh, not what you have.
Is the first system in about 30 years that comes with 2 video game controllers.
Which ended up going down to 1, and the price of the console went up to $350. He just talked out of his ass.
They come with color touchscreens, speaker, microphone.
Yeah, Revolution Now. What was the name of that console?
Gyroscope, accelerometer, force feedback. The whole system even has RFID unit. One of the incredible things about
it looks like a
Amico.
PGS Revolution now. Our screen has a crystal quality.
Is that all of the games are rated E for everyone. All of our games are $9.99 or less. Now we have...
So all of your games are cheap mobile games appealing to kids.
He's right again. Again, that was a good point. He could be repeating other talking points, but at least he realizes those talking points make sense. Not what Tommy Tallarico is saying. Butch Hartman, creator of Fairly Odd Parents, and Danny Phantom pulled a similar scam with Waxis, a Christian streaming service. Oh, God.
We went out and we got all of the retro video games, bringing back all the greatest video games with new graphics and sound and adding in multiplayer so everyone can play.
Might actually be my favorite part. If they just made a Miko like a $30 app I can get on my Switch, and it'll just be like a streaming service full of old and television games reimagined, I'd like that.
You can have the flop on the main television.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be done with those games in like 10 minutes at most.
Screen, and everybody has their 2 cards on their controller.
And you know what John brought up there, the retro bro? He's like, oh, well, DJC Studios doesn't play anything past Neo Geo. No, someone literally sent them to me. It was pretty amazing. Thank that person, Luke Infinite. But even though you've only played up to the Neo Geo, you know the other games and technology that are around you, right? There's no way, unless you were trying to also gargle Tommy's nuts, that you would say something like this over a game that looks like a fucking flash.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
They're literally... I did actually say a good rebuttal. I'm like, dude, there's better looking games in the Neo Geo than Finnegan Fox. So that's not even a good excuse. Even if DJC has never seen a game past Neo, like he's like, I can't look at it. It has better graphics than the Neo Geo. Like, the games in the Neo Geo look better. So that's not even a defense. You were trying to gargle Tommy's nuts, all of you, because you thought it was going to get you somewhere on YouTube. And guess what? You now are all going to be known. The only one who had the common sense to, like, not totally jump in was Saggy Melons. Credit where credit's due. And to Smash JT. Yeah, he waited till later. But he was way earlier still than Retro Bo or DJC. So credit to both of them. But the rest of them look like fucking clowns now. You'll never. So if you thought that you were going to ride Tommy's irrelevant has-been coattails to get you somewhere on YouTube, you'll never get anywhere now. You're just going to be known as the assholes who sucked his cock trying to get a following.
This is unbelievable. Never before been accomplished in a proper video game system.
The Dreamcast VMU had this in 1999.
Well, constructive criticism again. That was just a device that you could, well, it was like a novelty that they had a couple games you could play on it, but you weren't doing like, if you played certain football games, it would show you plays. That was about it. But okay, all right.
It's not a new concept.
First and foremost, we have a...
Well, he is right. It's not a new concept. The Wii and Wii U.
Unique controller with a touch control color screen.
All it looks like are 2 off-brand iPod Nanos on a Wii remote dock. That's it. It's not that original.
Or a baby monitor.
We have something that's called our Karma gaming engine. And what that means is that everybody, no matter what your skill level, can...
By the way, in December, I am getting a puppy pug. I already put down the down payment for it. I did this before the passing of baby Kitty. I don't want anyone to think. And to show it on stream, I want $2,000 support my family. I'm joking. I'll show it to you on stream for free. like Phil was like, I couldn't tell anyone. I had to protect it. Like, yeah, what's going to happen? Is Tevin going to break into your house and steal your cat, Phil? You made your audience pay It was 1,000 that I think someone paid more because they were so excited to find out what was going on. You got $2,000 to show a cat. Jason O'Connor, I missed it. Why are you going between Twitch and YouTube? Diversifying myself, putting different content up. Interviews go on Twitch. Most of gaming goes on Twitch. You know, I learned a lot of lessons from, like, I need to diversify because I can't just rely on YouTube because YouTube, like, I got a false strike. And it got resolved fairly quickly, but there may be another time I'll get a false copyright strike. And that wasn't copyright. It got me a strike because they thought the link I had in there had porn in it. It didn't. Maybe next time it could take a week. And then what do I do? Not work for a week? I mean, I have a savings. It's not that I would be out in the street, but I don't want to not work for a week. I kind of, gee golly, like what I do. So you got to diversify. I know some people are like, I don't like Twitch. Then there's some people who like Twitch better than YouTube. So, hey, now you have choices. And it's not like I'm streaming here. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm leaving. So there's still plenty of live stream content coming to this channel.
Feel like you have a chance in that.
Yeah, thank you thoroughly, Tickle Television. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was so shitty. You know, and it's a weird thing to put down an animal too, because they don't have a say. But he was at the point where he was drinking all day, he was eating all the time, and then throwing it up. I mean, poor cat was starving to death, and like, they can't tell you that they're suffering. But and it sucks, but you always feel a small sense of guilt because they can't. Maybe he would want to say if he had the ability to, I'd rather live it out, you know. But that's part of the downside of being a pet owner. I can't DSP skunt on cock later. We'll get back into that later. He got denied partnership on Twitch. Why? I gotta talk to him. I didn't hear anything about that. What will Bruno think? He'll probably just sniff the dog's ass.
Or in the game. I'll give you an example. Let's say we were playing Pong. Now, I'm really good at Pong. So if I'm
really good at Pong.
Congratulations.
I'm really good at Pong. Why did that even need to be said? Why did you need to say you're fucking good at Pong? That's like saying I am an ace at masturbation. I'm really good at Pong. Whoa, whoopee! I'm really good at Pong. Of course he had to say that. Of course the insecure man-child had to flex his Pong skills. Ooh. Watch out. Tommy's good at Pong. Whoa.
Congratulations.
If I score 3 times in a row on you, then that means my paddle's going to shrink and yours is going to get bigger.
Rich, you stop your streams too much. What do you do? Your paddle's going to shrink and mine's going to get bigger.
So it's like this real-time, interactive, on-the-fly handicapping system.
Yeah, dude, this is not a new thing either. They've done this in other games. Matter of fact, Left 4 Dead, perfect example. It had AI. This is back in... When did the original Left 4 Dead come out? 2008? Yeah, 2008. They had a system where if you were like breezing through a map, they would actually make it tougher and you'd have more tanks coming at you and shit. Review Maury. Tommy Tallarico is Leafy's father because they both say the word literally.
They're literally gaming racists. They're racist. Gaming racists.
Wow.
That actually works.
That everyone, no matter a grandfather, can beat a hardcore millennial gamer.
The Atari 2600 had 2 game difficulty switches in 1977 that would do the same thing as there.
He's actually right. It's right. You could say he's regurgitating talking points, but he did do some research. Some mistakes he made, but he's 14. Cut him a break.
Real-time difficulty thing they're praising right now.
We have over 600 years of experience just on our core team. I'm talking about like the former president of Nintendo. People who helped to create...
Lies. At best, they did like a fucking call-in meeting. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it got better. Seymour.
PlayStation hardware, the Xbox. You even have the woman who helped to launch, marketing-wise, the Nintendo Wii console. I got the guy who helped to bring Tetris to the world. Tetris is the #1 selling video game ever of all.
Oh my God, he took. But what happened to all these people? They may have signed on for a bid or something. I'm sure that like that was the asterisk to it. But you never heard about this shit again. Didn't GTA San Andreas have these games built in? Yeah, dude, it's a fucking joke. And then he wanted to turn around and try to sell you Pong to play in a fucking dedicated system. It's a goddamn piece of shit embarrassment. I got the Tetris guy.
Those are either all lies or incredible crazy brags. I don't think they have the former president of Nintendo because Reggie Fils-Aimé is retired. And
no, it was some other, I think it was a woman they got. But whoever heard, like they showed her in like that first initial trailer from Intellivision. It's only 2 minutes long before we get into the interview where Tommy is like white knighting with this young kid, which is so pathetic. And I'll prove to you with dates that it's obvious that Tommy was looking for people talking about him because he's a narcissist. But anyway, let's finish this up. It's almost done.
The former presidents of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata and Hiroshi Yamauchi, have been dead for years.
For manufacturing, we have the biggest licenses in the world. The rocket ship has been built. We are on the line.
And the rocket ship has fucking crashed. That was, it didn't even crash. It was a failure to launch.
Launch pad. So strap yourself in because it's going to be one hell.
I know we know that he lied, but the thing is, it's amazing how grandiose it was, the lies. It wasn't just that, hey, we're starting a system and we have Jesus Christ, we have Barack Obama, we have Justin Trudeau, we have the Beatles, we resurrected the Beatles that passed away, we have Gabe Newell, all working on the Intellivision Amiga.
Try to relax your anus.
Come on. It's about how he did it, not just that he lied.
Hell of a ride.
I think this Amico rocket ship is going to be a lot like the Challenger. It's going to explode.
This kid is a champion. Wait, you said he was going to say something like this?
So that was the Intellivision Amico. Did I ever tell you that I have the actual Intellivision Amico prototype? Look, my God, it's touchscreen. It's kind of simple.
Again, he has a point. Oh, just like that fart has a point, man.
Button, like, man, it's like this stuff's never been done before.
That was a powerful fart, damn.
Okay, how long can I hold that pose for? That is the question.
So, okay. So we'll watch the original video again. It's only a couple seconds long from Intellivision. But, show more. May 29th. This is just proof that Tommy was looking all over for his fucking own interview. For people calling out the fucking Amico. Now, show more. June 5th. May 29th. June 5th. Hi, Lucas. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. Looking forward to sharing more info with you over the next few months. It's so sad. Ah, fuck, let's watch the trailer again. Who cares?
Okay.
So now he had to come on here and damage control to a 14-year-old boy. Days later. So you know that Tommy was looking around to see if anyone was saying anything negative about the Amico, and he had to go on a kid's channel with 116 subscribers and talk about it. Yeah, Tommy's as beta as it comes. It's so pathetic.
Welcome to Lucas. Today on the show we have a big special guest. His name is Tommy Tallarico. He's worked on over 300 games, created the touring experience Video Games Live, and now is the CEO
Tommy, did you give him these talking points?
in television, and is here on the show to talk about the new console, the Amico.
The non-existent console, the Amico.
Yo, well, that's a heck of an introduction. I appreciate it. I sound very important. That's a lot of pressure. I don't like it.
Yeah, Tommy, you love it. You brag about yourself in every time you have a video, Tommy. If you, hey, welcome to the television. Before we get into the product that you may actually give a shit about, here's me jerking myself off for like 15 minutes. Don't act humble now.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I've got a lot of questions.
No, you're not kidding at all. You want everyone to think you're the most important person in the room.
All right. How old are you, Lucas?
Donald Tellerico.
I'm 14.
14. You know, let me see. I was when.
Yeah, and you had to go on his channel because he made a negative video about you, Tommy. How pathetic are you? You are so fucking pathetic. The math shows, the numbers don't lie about how pathetic you are, dude. Yeah. Could you imagine like Mark Cerny doing this? Or, okay, you want to go with like the Evercade, the CEO of Evercade. Don't know who it is. There's an independent company. All rich, you're talking about a major corporation. This was I guess you could call it a startup. You can't compare. Okay, fine. See them doing it? Could you even picture the failed Ouya CEO, the woman, I forgot her name, doing this? Come on. This is weird. This is fucked up. And he did it. He's looking up his name, and he was looking for people talking about him. And he's even going a 14-year-old's channel with no reach. And I'm not saying that negative. He has 116 subscribers because he has to make sure. And this is what he did. He went to these people like this. This kid, I guess, was smart enough. He seems like he's smart enough to not fall for the bullshit. And he gaslit people. Hey, I'll do this for you. It's going to be this. We have these people to get people to jump onto it. And then he had this fucking cult around it. You're a fucking clown, Tommy. You're an absolute clown. I don't know why this makes me so angry. Well, I've been angry all day. I don't know why. Well, Cole Hansen after that praise. He's hard. Dude. He's so weird.
When the original Intellivision came out in 1979, well, I didn't.
Yeah, he literally DM'd me telling me that I need help. Who needs help here, Tommy? Who? You know how many people are probably talking about me? I'm not relevant, but you get my point. There's a fucking group of people out there, not talking like the old school trolls. Remember the Big Cheese Crusaders? Just in general, there's people that hate me. If I looked up my name, I'm sure there's people saying Rich is a fat, grifting piece of shit on a daily basis. Am I looking them up, though? No, because I don't care. It legalized recreational marijuana. That's fucking awesome.
Didn't get one until Christmas in 1980. So I was.
Now he's going to tell you his whole story. Philip Burnell Tellerico about his joy of having an Intellivision back in the day, which this kid wasn't even a sperm cell yet.
Just about to turn 13. So I was your age last year when the original Intellivision came out 40 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 53-year-old man trying to convince a 14-year-old boy that the Amico is going to be great. How's that great Amico, Tommy? And to all the people out there who sucked Tommy's dick until the bitter end and now he's ignoring you, hope you enjoy your useless prototypes.
Congratulations.
You sold your integrity to have a piece of plastic that's useless. How do you feel, losers?
So what do you think I got wrong in that video? It was made, like, very fast. I didn't really research.
Oh, no, that's okay. Well, well, I mean, there was a few things.
Let's see what he was wrong about. This is what's great about going post-mortem back into this shit. Because the kid generally, I mean, he made some historical mistakes, and I gave him the constructive criticism. But everything, that rocket launch thing at the end, that was brilliant. Everything the kid said essentially came true. Let's see Tommy rebuke it right now. Let's see this genius here rebuke it. I wonder if I have my Intellivision hat. I would wear it just to be a dick because I'm a petty motherfucker like that.
That I think just some informational things.
Yeah, this is why he's on here. Do you see why I wanted to talk about this?
For example, Intellivision was actually the first 16-bit.
Okay, that's correct. Like I said,
video game machine. I had a 16-bit processor, which is crazy.
But but who cares? What does it have to do with your product? Why are you schooling him on the history of video games? Talk about your product. Who the fuck cares?
Easy to think about because, you know,
who cares about how big the address bus is from a console from 1979?
TurboGrafx 16, which was the late 80s.
I have a
and then,
nose
of course,
hair.
the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo 1989, 1990 were like 10 years later. So it was cool, but it was an actual 16-bit chip, you know, and you could see the difference. If you look at the Atari 2600 that came out in 1977, if you look at the graphics of that machine and then the Intellivision machine, you know, you could actually see, you know, a kind of a big upgrade.
Okay.
In fact, one of the TV commercials or a number of different TV commercials at the time in the late 70s and early 80s was a guy by the name of George Plimpton.
That nose hair is like 6 inches. No wonder why I was hurting. I was sitting there. I'm like, ow, making my eyes tear. God damn.
George was a big author back then. And
see, this is where now 2022, Rich, I would have cut him off and be like, all right, I get the history. That's cool. We'll talk about your product. I don't need to know your whole backstory. Like, you're not that famous, dude. You run a company. Tell me about the product. Yeah, the kid's gonna fall asleep. Force feedback.
And a very kind of well-respected, had this, you know, very proper British accent and things. And he would always go on TV and in magazine ads and always compare the graphics. Let's compare the Intellivision to the...
Which is strange. I mean, I understand it was a different time, but then you went to the whole family-friendly thing. The irony in that with him.
Atari, which do you prefer? And it would show like the Atari machine playing, like, which one would you prefer to play? A baseball game. And it would show like 4 dots. And that was like the Atari, the whole Atari game.
And you know what probably happened, like this kid had school or something. Okay, because it was still late May. He's like, oh, I have school. Like, Tommy probably, I'm going to place bets within 48 hours of him making that video at most. And that's probably me being generous. Tommy was in his DM somewhere. Say, hey, I'd love to come on your show in Damage Control. And the kid was like, dude, I have school. Like, could we wait a few days? That's probably only the reason. And still, it was relatively, the response was quick. June 5th, kid made his video May 29th. You can't get any more pathetic than that. Again, that part I just said is speculation, but I guarantee you that's what happened behind the scenes.
And then it would show the Intellivision, which, you know, had the Running Man.
Tommy thinks he's relatable to anybody.
Here, that's still our logo. And you would see like the Running Man animations and all 9 players on the field and all these colors. And he's like, you decide.
You know what's kind of sad is that he ruined the Intellivision name. Not that it really had a huge name, but it's just like it's always going to be looked at like, oh, isn't that thing that guy Tommy bought?
And so it was pretty fun.
Tommy looks and talks like my Uncle Rich. Thank you, Abby.
So it was actually the first 16-bit machine. I think that one of the reasons,
like another like Analog. Do you see the CEO of Analog going around like on a 14-year-old's channel with 100 subs to damn it? Like, come on, dude. You're such a weirdo.
I thought it would be good for us to talk is to
no what Minxie, I wouldn't hang up on him. I'd be like, dude, all right, you don't need to tell me the whole shit. Like, the original Intellivision is long dead. Tell me about your product. What does your product bring to the table that I can't get anywhere else? You know, I mean, he's 14, but I'm saying me as an adult with my failed ass interviews should have been like, Vince McMahon, we'll do those again, maybe later, but definitely again tomorrow. I cut him off before because we would have been here.
Kind of, maybe we could talk about a little bit.
But you know what? Once you got into the tough stuff with Tommy Minxie, it wouldn't be boring because when Tommy gets defensive, he says things like this.
They're literally gaming racists.
And he stumbles because he's insecure narcissist and the sparks fly. That's when it gets fun.
Who our machine is for and kind of what makes it different and unique about, compared to all the other ones out.
Yes, he's literally responding to a teenager days later, meaning that this is not even speculation. I guarantee it. I guess that still makes it speculation, but it's not. How did how did Tommy find a channel? How many views did this kid get on this? 1,000 views. Okay. I bet you 827 of them were fucking Tommy's. The only way you could find a video from this kid with 100 subscribers and change is if you're actively looking for it. The CEO of a company was actively looking and like, I have to go defend myself against a 14-year-old boy. What the fuck is wrong with you? And you're telling me I need help? You need help, dude. Get over yourself, man.
There, because really,
he's just a young 14-year-old kid. And what my point with this is, for those who don't know, he made a video, being critical of the Amico. This is just showing how nuts Tommy is. Only has 116 subs. So you know what that means? Tommy was going around looking every fucking day, searching for people talking about him. And he's like, oh, I must go. Me as a CEO, I must go on this channel in White Knight and damage control what he said because 12 people might see it. It's insane. Yeah, he was spitting. Oh, stop. Dude, that anti-Semitic shit that he was spitting. Nah, man. Come on. I watched the whole fucking interview with Pierce Morgan, so don't tell me I saw shit out of context.
The Xbox, the PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch, they are very much targeted to that kind of hardcore gamer.
I can't believe he says that about the Switch, especially with the straight face. I can't believe it. Yeah, thank you. That was a really stupid super chat, but thank you. I'll take the money for you to say something stupid.
Proud. Like even the Switch, it's interesting. Games that folks like me and you, because like we're gamers, right? So even games that me and you think are considered casual, aren't casual to like my wife or my mom.
There's totally games, especially on the Switch, that even your fucking grandma could play. Imagine if yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I am thoroughly tickled.
I mean, Phil Spencer in his was pretty good. He had that like quick one-liner to Crap Gamer on Twitter, but do you think he would ever go on Crap Gamer and like do something like this? No, because he's not fucking insane.
Or something like that, you know. So I don't know if you're, let me see, gosh, you're 14. So the year were you born in 2006?
Yes.
What's up?
Okay,
Good for
so
Gabby.
The year you were born was the year that the Nintendo Wii came out. And I don't know if you ever had one of those growing up, but
I was raised on I was very big on the retro stuff. So I had a 64, GameCube, a clone, and a Wii U.
Nice. Okay. Well, yeah, the Wii U. You were one of the only ones who bought it then. No, I'm just kidding. But no,
million of us.
Right?
More people bought the Wii U than your. How many people own your system now, Tommy? They're prototypes 3. Your biggest bootlickers.
But that was the incredible thing is that the Wii.
Like, if you got a prototype from Tommy, I almost feel like, or if you got a whoever delved out the prototypes, it probably wasn't Tommy. He's like in hiding somewhere, selling his fucking gaming collection, running from everybody. But what if Tommy is, no, he's not like EDP. Let's not go there. Okay. He's just, I made a video being critical of the, Amico. Okay. He did the same shit to me. He probably was like, ooh, this guy has 700,000 subs or 600,000 subs at the time. Yeah, like, that's what I was saying, because I got off track because of, like, what a way to, like, hey, I ruined your, well, first off, they willingly let the reputations be ruined, okay? These are grown-ass men. Oh, my God, Tommy tricked me. You're idiots. Did you really think he was your fucking friend? You fools. Yeah, I ruined your reputation and careers. Not that they had careers on YouTube, but no, literally, Retro Bro admitted he was dick riding this, hoping he would get a following. He admitted it in my interview. I said this before. And he didn't. This is how Tommy's like Trump. He didn't dick ride to the very bitter end, like DJC, I think, is still doing. Oh boy, can't wait for the Amico. It's not coming. And if you got a prototype, guess what?
Congratulations.
That's all you're getting. Oh, that was a fart too. Like, DJC's still putting out there. It's like, oh, I can't wait for the Amico. Dude, stop. It's over. The Amico is no more. Ladies, I hope you enjoy my fart.
When it came on the scene, it really redefined video games for everyone. Because remember, this was before mobile, right? So, and of course, as you're probably aware.
Thank you for loving my ass.
The Wii at the time was the third biggest selling video game console of all time. It did 102 million units, right? And
Tommy, it was a different time. He makes it like motion controls are still the hot thing, and Sony's coming out with the PlayStation Move, and Microsoft still, he gave a shit. It was over. Even in 2020, it was done. It was done. People moved on to like the niche that was left. Like they moved on to like VR or something.
It was super simple, you know, like you could just play bowling, Wii Sports, boom, boom. So they were selling Wiis,
and then they stopped.
Like non-gamers, like people all over the world, like my mom.
But you're an idiot, because at that time there wasn't smartphones. Those people, like my aunt, I think she bought a Wii. Once these became capable enough to play like those super casual games, They collected dust. The Wii was the most successful dust collector in a majority of homes. You know how many people of those 100+ million bought that thing because of fucking stupid Wii Sports? It wasn't bad. It's a fun game, but you get my point. They got over it, and then when phones became capable enough, they never looked back. I still go to people's houses now that I know are not, they don't touch the Wii and they're not gamers at all. You still see a fucking Wii next to their TV, and it probably hasn't been touched since like 2009.
Who's now 79 years old. She's bought
Raspergu, thank
two
you for the
video
wiener.
game consoles her entire life. The first one was the Christmas of 1980. She bought an original Intellivision for the home. And then in 2006, she bought a Nintendo Wii because she's like, oh, well, I can do that. That's easy, you know? And so, you know, that was the reason why the Wii kind of exploded. And I was working, you know, hand in hand with Nintendo at the time. I had,
which I think was debunked and was considered bullshit, but I could be wrong about that.
The great privilege and honor to work with one of my heroes and good friends.
Here we go. Now he's going to flex people that he knows. I would love to ask Shigeru, do you know Tommy Tallarico?
Shigeru Miyamoto. I'm sure you know who Shigeru Miyamoto-san is. So I worked with him for 5 years on the...
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but like, could we stop remaking games and, I don't know, make new IPs? Or at least make a sequel?
Metroid Prime series. And so kind of all during that...
That was debunked. He did not work on the Metroid Prime series, or if he did, it was never actually in the game.
Time and really, you know, Nintendo, the reason they created the Wii is because they were trying to get away from Sony and Microsoft.
Dante's Inferno 2 would be all over.
They wanted to do something totally different because, quite frankly, Nintendo was kind of getting their asses kicked by Sony and Microsoft because they were so heavy in the graphics. And the other thing to remember is that Sony and Microsoft aren't just video game companies, right? I mean, Microsoft is, you know, the biggest software, you know, Windows, Excel, you know, PowerPoint. They're the biggest software company, is one of the biggest companies on the planet. So they have a...
Good for Gabby. This is Tommy Tallarico, who is the clown that bought the Intellivision IP and just fucking lit a match to it and burned it into the ground because he was a fucking psychopath, a narcissistic psychopath. And he literally made a cult around a console that never even existed. Wii U was a pseudo extension of Wii. I played Wii in college and upgraded to Wii U afterwards, and it was the rough draft of the Switch, if you think about it. You know what I mean? How you were playing games on the actual controller.
A lot of different resources that they could, you know, pull in and infrastructure. Same with Sony. Sony's a big entertainment company and a big hardware company. They make TVs, they make cameras, they used to make laptops, but then there's Columbia Pictures, which is owned by, you know, which is their movie studio, Sony Music. So again, these are like hundreds.
What the fuck is he even talking about?
Of billions dollar companies, right? And Nintendo is just a video game company as big as they are. And so Nintendo wanted to like, whoop, let's take a bit of a right turn here. And you know what? We don't necessarily care about the fastest graphics and the biggest multiplayer online system and all this. Let's just bring it back to kind of like, you know, simplicity. And
but why would they go to your platform to do this when they could buy something like a Series S, and if they want to play the hardcore games, they can. If they want to play like there's like board game, I can't think of it right now. I know it's on there. I forgot the name of it. It's a perfect example. They could do that too. Why the fuck should they buy your underpowered shit?
And let's, you know, introduce motion controls and things like that. And it was a huge success. Again, people who never played PlayStation or Xbox were all of a sudden buying the Wii console, right? And so that's kind of...
The kid is just a screenshot. I thought that was brilliant. Essentially, he's a fucking screen. This kid is like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I know how you feel, kid. I understand. He went through the whole spiel with me too. And then you go, oh no, man, you know what? Maybe if I talk less, this could end sooner. The suffering could end sooner. I guarantee you, 95% of this interview is Tommy talking.
A little bit about what we're doing is we're going more for that kind of audience, the non-gaming audience. I'll give you some crazy numbers. So
let's debunk the numbers.
If you add up all the PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and hardcore PC gamers, they call themselves the master race. If you add up all of those, that's 200 million people in.
And yeah, but now there's 2 billion people that play. Yeah. And they, in developing countries and developed countries, you know where those people, they're just playing cheap, quick, and 99% of the time, free games on their fucking phones. So before the tech was there, like I just said a few minutes ago, sure, the Wii was cool because those people that were casual, super casual gamers, oh, I could play some bowling. Soon as the phones took over, goodbye. God, he's such a fucking idiot.
The world, who are considered hardcore gamers. Me and you are probably in that category, right?
I did that map in my video, actually. There's like a little bit called math time in that video where I added all the consoles together. But
right. Is that what you came up with, about 200 or 300? Well, I think it was 300.
I came up with like 175 to I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, Tommy, did you take notes from his video to like rebuke a 14-year-old kid? Did you fucking take notes? Did you take notes? Holy shit.
Right, exactly. So let's say that those are the hardcore gamers, right?
Here we go.
Yet there's
phones literally capturing casual and actual gamers better than Amico. Casuals and gamers have rate. Yeah, COD Mobile is actually a pretty good COD. He's a fucking buffoon. He's an arrogant, narcissistic buffoon. He'll never be taken seriously in the gaming industry again, ever. He's a laughing stock now, and a lying, and his credibility in terms of his character as a person sucks.
3 billion people that play casual games. About 2.5
Ego like tissue paper. Yep.
billion are playing on mobile.
And they're going to stay there. They don't give a fuck about buying a dedicated, underpowered system to replace that.
And another.
What you're also too stupid to know, I don't get with your non-existent market research, is you know why a lot of people play on here? It's not because it's just convenient and they're casual. It's also more socially accepted. When you have something like this, you have a phone. No, even if you're playing a game, no one's going to blink an eye. This is a productivity device, communication device. It's socially accepted. Okay? The human race is still a congress of apes, and we're looking for the other apes to accept us. So this is deemed an acceptable device. This. Wait, let me make sure I'm open this on the table. I don't know which way is up. Okay. Oh, what did I do? God damn it. Who cares? It's just him rambling anyway. This is for fucking weirdos like me. I actually have to charge this. I'm glad I took this out. So my point being is those people are not going to be caught with this device because it's not as socially accepted.
Try to relax your anus.
I didn't mean to hit that either. But that's what Tommy's too much of an idiot to realize. You know what I mean? Let me charge this thing while I'm here. Dead. Where's the cord? Ah. Sorry. Because I got to do some shit with that too. But that's the other part of it, is that a lot of people are very concerned about what being judged by other people. You could say whatever you want to say. It's just how it is. And even though gaming has come a long way, there still is partially that stigma to it. And there's a lot of people that are not going to be caught dead. Like, could you? Well, first off, this is expensive as fuck. But this is like, oh, hey, I'm on my device. I may be calling somebody. This is just, hey, guys, I'm a gamer. And you could say, oh, that's fucked up, Rich. Why are people being so judgmental? But that's just the human race and how it is. So beyond the fact that people just don't really give a fuck and want to just play a free-to-play game on their phone, they also don't want like the lack of social acceptance that still comes with games. But the spray tan genius doesn't know any of that. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, look, I'm a fucking dork. I love this thing. I would walk. You know what, man? If you're comfortable in your own skin, not to go into like you could carry this thing around and still get laid. But most people think I'll look like a fucking. Why do you think Nintendo, just to back up my point as I take my 67-foot cord and charge this thing, why do you think Nintendo, when the first ad for the Switch reveal, what did they do? They had adults and young adults playing it in social settings. They're like, hey, this device is sleek enough and that you can like go around and no one will think you're an asshole for playing video games. You could be on a plane and no one will think you're a fucking loser. There's a reason. There's a reason for the marketing, son. That's why they did it, because that is the way people think. So beyond the fact that those casual gamers just want to play something free because they're not really gamers and don't give a fuck. What are you doing, iPad? What are you doing to me? Come on. Anyway. Oh, you're doing that shit. Anyway. So, Genius Tallarico is off the mark here, is my point.
I'd put my money all day long on
just bought the digital edition. I saw Papa Gut. He's a cool dude. I support. He was unboxing it. He didn't realize that he bought like the super ridiculous collector's edition Papa Gut of God of War. And what's amazing is, Sony, is that they give you the jewel case for God of War. But God for fucking bid, they include the disc. And he's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, dude, I did a whole story on this news story. It's like, it's so anti-consumer. Yeah, they don't give you the disc. He was so all disappointed. And you almost showed your code. You would have a troll would have been there and stole that code from you, Papa Gut. You're lucky you didn't. Yeah, it's a voucher. It's such a joke.
Television this time around. Took us 40 years, but we finally beat them.
The Amico's a little bit more of an original idea. The Atari VCS kind of feels like a Google Stadia, but with that Atari flair.
To me, it seems more like.
Oh, let's hear him. Oh, boy. Yum, 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 yum. Let's hear him shit talk a console that actually came out to market and you could still buy at Best Buy. I can't wait. This is going to be delicious.
A Steam box almost.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, thinking. Yeah, and again, if I was running Atari, and you know,
if I was running Atari, they would have totally fucking imploded more than they already had. If I was running Atari, the console would have never came out because I'm such an incompetent, narcissistic asshole that I would have burnt the entire company to the ground. No, dude, it looks like a foot bath case. You're right. It looks like you could get a thoroughly tickled. There's always thoroughly tickled like Jello. There's always room for it.
I am thoroughly tickled.
It looks like a baby monitor. It looks like a foot bath. It looked like everything except a game console. The controllers look like iPods, like the kid said, or a Microsoft Zune. More like a Zune, in my opinion. Well, he's not Tommy. It has nothing to do with that. This just proves how fucking insecure child that Tommy is. That it's not like this was done by this kid had like 5 million subscribers, and the video just came into Tommy's feed. He actively searched for this because it's not like the video the kid made had reach. It's not like he was looking for any kind of dissent anywhere. And days later, he's on this kid's channel because he's a fucking loser. You hear that, Tommy? I know you watch my shit. You're a fucking snake, a fraud, a liar, and a loser. And I will take none of those words back, and I'll say them to your fucking face. I've essentially have.
I have friends over who work at Atari. So again, I don't want to seem like I'm putting them down. They're great folks over there.
Oh, you put them down multiple times. You put them down on my videos of you too. You've put them down. And you know what? They're probably laughing at you now because their console came out and you're like in the witness protection program because everyone thinks you're a joke.
But, you know, like if I were in charge of Atari today,
what's up, Ezra?
I would say like, okay, like what
I would say like, okay, never disagree with me. Think everything that comes out of my mouth is genius and say I'm the smartest person alive and make sure that everyone knows that my cousin is the lead singer from Aerosmith. I gotta go piss.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh my God. No! I didn't mean that. Fuck. Shit. God damn it. All right, I'm going to go empty my hole.
Your shoulders.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Breasts. Breasts.
I've never heard a man. That's why I think it's so funny how serious that these two men say breasts.
Breasts. Breasts.
I've never heard two human beings say breasts so seriously before. Waiting for, I told my partner to make bubbles last night. Bubbles all around. I'll give you
hand jobs all around.
I'm never blowing bubbles ever again.
Which we know is a lie.
would do is I'd go out and do a deal with Steam, and I'd say, hey, Steam, you know,
come on, genius.
You know, how about, you know, I'm going to generate a lot of extra revenue for your guys. We're going to brand Atari, and every single person who owns an Atari.
Yeah, pull it. Come on. What was that? Pull it out of your ass, Tommy.
PCS will get 20% off or 25% off every single Steam game or something, right? Like put it right on the.
A quarter off every game because they're bought on an Atari? Are you on fucking crack? Oh, that was a brilliant... Man, you showed them. I could see like 5%, like, or some little discount. Or you could accrue points to maybe use, kind of like how they do on the Switch. Are you out of your fucking gourd? taking 25%. The developers are already pissed off because it's 70-30 still. It starts at 70-30, I think. And then if you, like, depending how much, I don't know how I forgot how the numbers work. I knew years ago. And then you wanted to get a 25% discount? The fuck out of here. What is wrong with you? And you know what? Their system came out. It sucks. I know. Yours didn't. Sit down. If that was you, I did. I said he's a handsome man. Someone sent me the clip. Dude, he said that he was all angry. Like, what do you think? People bait him to say stuff because they know I'll react to it. I'm not stupid. So someone super chatted him. What do you think of Rich changing his Twitter to Elon Musk's nipple? And he went on some stupid fucking... Oh, I'll show you. Someone sent it to me. I think I could find it. Let me look here. I think I accepted it, so... Was it you, Bullcraft? No. Or was it you? Ah, here it is. Here it is. Here's Phil. I don't even have to show it. Just listen to it.
Here. I got a dollar tip from someone saying, what are your thoughts on Rich from Review Tech changing his name on Twitter to Elon Musk's nipple? That's from the Great Piggly Wiggly. I mean, that's right in line with Rich and the kind of person he is. He's an attention whore. He's doing it on purpose to try to get a laugh or try to get some kind of attention.
God forbid you make jokes. Gaming is serious. It's very serious. This man has a 14-year legacy. Don't ever talk about him jerking off on May 1st, 2016.
From his audience. Again, screams desperation, screams look at me.
Jokes are desperation. Being funny is desperate. What is Tim? You know where I got that from? I got that still image from Tim Heidacker's podcast. Is Tim Heidecker desperate for attention? It's jokes, Phil. It's jokes. Get the fucking redwood-sized branch out of your asshole and relax a little bit. And you're talking about desperation for me? I don't have to beg my audience to pay my groceries and my electric bill. Motherfucker, man.
Look at me, right? It's stupidity, which is what you expect from someone like him, you know? Okay.
Coming from the guy who yelled at his audience and said this.
I'm never blowing bubbles ever again.
Phil, your lack of self-awareness will never cease to amaze me, and I will constantly laugh at you. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
I'm paying $5 to tell Tommy he ain't worth a penny. Dude, he's another one who lacks self-awareness. In a weird way, they're all the same. Now, I would say Tommy Tallarico's a scam artist and evil. Phil is just an idiot and desperate. He's not evil. I'll still defend him with that. He's just a fucking dumbass. But the lack of self-awareness is the same trait with all of them. I mean, even I'm looking at him because Jedi, your super chat just came up. And I'll get, you know what?
Try to relax your anus.
Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles.
But they all have that. That's what I was saying. They all lack that self-awareness, man. It's the same fucking thing. That jokes are desperation. But begging your audience for grocery money the next day, that is the way to run a business. If you're a fucking asshole. Oh, you may not, yeah, jokes are entertainment. You may not find my jokes funny, but he's just such a fucking buffoon. But stay a buffoon, Phil, because it's entertaining to watch. Be a dumbass, continue to be a dumbass, continue to lack self-awareness. And the best is that he said recently too, oh God, you got me on a, oh wow, you got me on a Phil tangent. That's shocking, huh? Is, if I beg, tell me to stop. I'm paraphrasing only slightly. Like, what? Stop yourself from begging. Stop yourself from begging. Did you send Death Metal, dude? I'd love to see what he said. And he failed like the next day. I know.
The thing and just own it, you know? And then it could become like this box that people can hook up to their TV. Because, like, I love indie developers and I love Steam, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because I can only play Steam like up on my computer in my studio where I'm talking to you now. And I'd love to be able to play multiplayer couch co-op with my wife downstairs in the living room on the TV and things like that. So
Tommy, there's a billion fucking, like, you go buy a Zotac computer then, dude. First off, I mean, I guess you could stream the games, but you're not downloading the games onto, you don't even know the specs of that. The fucking Atari VCS is a goddamn piece of shit potato. You're not playing any. I think they showed, like, they barely got the original, I can't think of the game right now. It's from Blizzard, the FPS. Someone name it. They got that to run at like 720p and barely hit 30 FPS at the lowest settings. You're going to get Steam games. Overwatch. Thank you. Overwatch. He's such a fucking clown. Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, I think if they position themselves right, but man, it's kind of confusing. I
mean, maybe I'll give him, if I'm going to be objective here, or try to, even though I hate Tommy. Maybe he didn't know the SOC was capable in there yet. Maybe that's it.
I think they're trying to do too much, you know, and there's this thing in our industry, it's called,
just like you,
feature creep. That's when, you know, when you want to do all these things and then,
yeah, if it was a fucking handheld, fine. You know, that, like, a lot of people got at me with, like, the Aya Neo. I'm like, dude, it's a different animal. You can't expect to play games at 120 FPS on, you know, I mean, well, even on this, which is more powerful. Like, that's not what you're going to get. If you want that, go out and buy a high-end gaming laptop, which is a different audience than this, or buy a high-end gaming PC with a high refresh rate monitor, you know? And technically, I got my hands on a Soldier Book game console, which I still have in my drawer. Does she want it back? Can't think of her name right now. Sunpie. Trust me, I don't need his console. The Soldier console. I've been using everything. PC. Actually, the Series consoles recently released, but I was using like the Series S the most for a while. I switch back and forth, man. I like all video game systems. Like, when people say I'm a fanboy, it's like, I just find it funny. People think I was I was a PlayStation fanboy. Remember when I was watching for Tinka Plays video? I was like, oh, really? I have receipts here to prove otherwise.
Then you do so much, and it's like, okay, now what's your message to the consumer? Well, we can play Netflix. Well, my freaking refrigerator can play Netflix now.
Yeah, and there's casual games that can be played. What is your selling point, Tommy? You didn't have one.
Like, I'm serious.
Yeah, they all offer a different experience. I'm going to play God of War, Ragnarok on the PS5. There's games I want to play on here with its dead pixels that I spent $1,700 on this thing. I brought the other one back that was completely unusable because the analog sticks didn't work. before I bring this one back, I want to do a video on it, talk about the drama around it. Jeffrey Tucker, I got your DM. If you're here, you're right. A video is going to be made on this, and this one may go back too. But man, let me tell you, man, that 6800U inside of here, playing Elden Ring at 1080p. Ooh, you want to hear something exciting? Just realized this. Thank you. I ordered a portable PS2 that is made from the PS2 hardware from AliExpress. Please, God, let that come to me in one piece. That is going to be an interesting video, my friends.
Serious. Like, I have a screen on my refrigerator and I can play Netflix. You know, you can, you know, well, you can boot it up into different operating systems. Like, that's going to...
That's where I'm noticing my niche works with bizarre shit, like the clone PS5 and the 25 terabyte, $25 hard drive that was a complete fucking fake. Yeah, I know. And it's like, dude, I could buy almost 2 of the new AMD graphics cards that are coming out. At least this will be a goddamn tax write-off. Ami sisters in the chat, that's not true. But it has a kickstand. It has a kickstand. I'm going to lay this back down, though. I don't want to knock it over. I like that at least mostly works. I mean, it's only a couple dead pixels in it, but there should be no dead pixels. None. And why did I say, like the other one I sent back, because like I said, the sticks were completely useless. The screen was perfect, but kind of can't use a portable console if the controller is not working. And it was like this some random fucking dude in Washington State. The fuck?
Confuse the hell out of the average consumer. So, boom, you just lost those 3 billion people I was talking about. Goodbye. They're gone. So now you have to focus on the 200 million gamers now. And you say, well, is it more powerful than an Xbox and a PlayStation? 4 or 5? No. Okay. Does it, you know, is it just as expensive as those? Yes. Okay. Well,
he's right about all this, but his system didn't do shit.
But what can you do that they can't? And again, make it the Steam box, you know, and of course Steam themselves tried to do this themselves, and they kind of, you know, they kind of failed, and it didn't work out for them. But
it failed. Here's why it failed, Tommy. You kind of, it failed because they had 6 billion different boxes. Part of the reason the Steam Deck is doing so well is that, okay, you have storage option choices, but it's the same system with the same specs. You know, no one's confused. There's a Steam Deck, and a Steam Deck. Which size storage you want in there? You know? Swag Bay back home from work and coming in to see Tommy Tallarico's thoroughly tickled burn. Bum. This is some video game racism. Congratulations, evening.
Congratulations. They're literally gaming racists.
Thank you, Swag Bay.
Atari's an amazing brand, a very legacy brand. You know, maybe, anyway, that would be my suggestion. I don't know.
So, like, the big problem is if, like, someone gets pummeled, like how Sony with the PS2 destroyed Sega with the Dreamcast, it kind of, like, took out a lot of games that could have been made. Mm-hmm. Or the PlayStation taking out the Atari Jaguar or something like that. It took out a lot of games. They didn't get made. And it was, like, less fun almost.
What's your favorite? Now, you said you were a Nintendo fan. Totally. Okay, so let's take Nintendo out of the mix, right? Let's take Nintendo out of the mix. So you can't say any Nintendo machines. What is your personal favorite retro machine, excluding the Nintendo stuff? Sega Genesis?
You have to say the Dreamcast.
Dude, he was born in 2006. The Sega Genesis may as well have been made in like 1894 to this kid.
3DO or the
Well, he was looking up a 3DO. Okay.
PlayStation 1.
Wow, 3DO. That's a surprise. You're
kind of cool and interesting, and it's very out there. I have a couple.
I did. I mean, I did 2 games for that system, and one of the games.
Of course he did. Maybe true, but
was Demolition Man. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
People. What was a system that people put up that I'm like, oh my God, am I that old? No, he doesn't let anybody talk, Gabby.
He was Sylvester Stallone, and it was really kind of fun. In fact, I heard they're doing a Demolition Man 2. I heard they're doing another movie of that. I don't know if I was supposed to say that publicly, but anyway.
Okay. I mean, Tommy does have accolades in the industry, but it's so funny how the internet, like if we didn't have the internet like we did now and it was still like the 90s and shit, we didn't know a lot of these people, because of the internet, their masks come off. You know, and so there's a lot of narcissistic assholes like Tommy that back in the day they would have never been caught for being narcissistic assholes because they were insulated from the industry. They had prominence. They were making money. And if you make money, there's always someone there to kiss your ass. Now, because they trip up on they can't handle it. They're so used to getting their asses kissed that they go on the internet and it's like, no one, oh, fuck you, you're full of shit. And they fold like a deck of cards. Tommy, I fold like a deck of cards. Tallarico over here. You know? There's a reason why Atari has a successful console and in television. Well, it ain't successful. It came out to market. It ain't successful. Besides one existing and one does it. By the way, you follow me on the VCS. I haven't turned that thing on in a minute. That kind of went to the wayside because I'm going to wait like another year for it to become more obscure, because after like the Game Boy video flop, that was put on pause.
Anyway, so I got to work with Sylvester Stallone for a couple of weeks.
Oh, of course you did. And your cousin is Steve Tyler from Aerosmith, and you have a Ferrari, and what else and you have a whole list of games you worked on. Jesus Christ has been resurrected himself to help manage the Intellivision. Are you done jerking off to yourself yet, Tommy? Thank you, Dylan Bacon. I appreciate it, man. Tommy made Custer's Revenge for the 2600 and beat him and eat him. Can't believe. Do some of you guys not know Beat 'em and Eat 'em? This is a real game that came out for the Atari. Oh, I thought the Game Boy video was great, but it flopped. It flopped like a turd out of my ass. So, people like the obscure shit. Like, they're gonna like to see this ridiculous fucking fake PS5. They like to see the scam stuff. I like to see it. You know, I'm interested in that stuff. The live streams are still here. Everyone, man, I go away for a couple days and people make it like I'm fucking in hiding somewhere. And technically I'm working. That's what I was working on today, was filming the unboxing of the fake PS5. Tomorrow on Twitch, not sure when, because we got to work out the bugs and make sure it's recording properly, because if we're not recording, then the footage goes to waste. We're going to be streaming the games that are on that motherfucker. So follow me on Twitch. We're going to be doing that tomorrow there. It should be a lot of fun.
It was so cool. And Joel Silver was this very, AAA producer. He did everything from Predator to, all sorts of amazing.
Well, that's the weird thing with YouTubers. They're gone for like 2 days and like, are they dead? Like an actual celebrity. YouTubers aren't celebrities in my opinion, but an actual celebrity, they could like not make a movie for 5 years. No one blinks an eye. A YouTuber doesn't stream for a day and people are calling the cops.
movies. I worked with Wesley Snipes, and that was a really fun project. But we put out Demolition Man for the 3DO. But that's that now. So you have a 3DO then?
I don't have a 3DO. It's too much money. I was going to
right.
get one
I was going to say there's still too much money, aren't
really soon. But then I thought, if I get a 3DO, that's like I could get a whole much more machines. Like I could get more stuff, and then when I have more disposable income, then I can return to the 3DO.
There you go. There you go. So I don't know if you've ever seen...
All right, I'm bored. This is pathetic. This is like, I can't take it anymore. Kind of pathetic. What is even the, like, let's see if he gets to any of the fucking other points. Like, we'll do that.
Single video, by the way. And by the way, a couple of them have fake, so I think it's only like two or three people. But so like, I didn't have to put myself out there to get all this, flack and this and that. Everyone who's working on Nintendo, everyone who's working on in television, we're doing it because we love it. We're doing it because we're passionate and we want to make a change. We want to do something that...
Oh my God.
And so you can see how we've mimicked the controller.
Your dad is Snipes' tax lawyer. Yeah, didn't he not pay like millions of dollars in taxes? Like he just didn't file for years and he got tax evasion?
35 and say 50. That's our number one demographic target. Number two demographic.
Who the fuck between 35 and 50? You're told that old. He's like Tommy. You're just saying yes. The ultra casual market. Fuck it. Like they're not gonna go play your console. All right, fuck you. I'm done. You are such a has-been weirdo. Okay.